All right. We last left off starting at the new year. We're going to take this to the trade deadline, and we flipped the roster around a few times. I tried a few things with the roster. I've tried swapping goaltenders, and nothing has worked. Nothing has gone our way. And if you don't know where we were in the standings the last time we were here, we're level on points with LA and a point above San Jose, with Vancouver having fallen off. They are now the worst team in the Pacific, so the Pacific Division has been quite the roller coaster this season. We play Anaheim again very shortly. We need to get a win there, and then we'll play Edmonton again. These are crucial games against crucial opponents. We need to get the wins going. We have put Christopher Breen in the lineup in place of Butler. So Butler's been scratched on the defensive pair side of things. I changed the penalty kill around. We're going to sim it. Did we lose? Yeah, we did lose in a shootout to Arizona or Phoenix. So we're going to sim now. We're going to begin the sim up to the deadline and figure out, does this team need a trade in order to push for a playoff position? Because playoff positioning is within reason. It is possible for us, but we need a win. And we didn't get one against Anaheim, but I don't know if that was in extra time. That loss did come in extra time to the Anaheim Ducks, which is a big point for us to get in the standings, as it keeps us above Los Angeles. And the San Jose Sharks have now leapfrogged everybody up into third in the division, with the Edmonton Oilers being within 10 points in a head-to-head contest with those same Oilers coming up. Clearly still giving up too many goals, though. I don't like that we're giving up about 3 goals a game, and we didn't even score in that game against the Oilers. So I think a trade is going to be happening. We cannot wait till the trade deadline, basically, to make a trade. I think we're going to have to make one. It's going to be happening soon. We're playing Philly, who has a defenseman that I am considering targeting, and unfortunately, the casualty, we did win that game. The casualty for us might be Dennis Wideman. We may have to move Wideman out in order to get better defensively, because I don't want to take a chance on missing the playoffs here. And if we cannot get a win streak going, the concerns are only going to grow. There's a big win over the New York Islanders. Please beat the Sabres. And we lost. Now the Leafs. This could be really down to the wire. This could come down closer to the trade deadline. If we just keep winning, losing one, there's another win. See, we did bounce back with the win. Where's the standings at? Oh man, it is right there. It is right there for us, and we'll have another head-to-head with Anaheim coming up. I'm going to sim past that Anaheim game. If we get on a win streak, I will hold off the thought of a trade, but if we lose 2 of these next 3 games, we play Washington here, and then Carolina and Anaheim, who was the Stanley Cup final last season. If we lose 2 of these next 3, there's a loss. Oh boy. And then, see, it seems like when we lose 2, we get shut out as well. We just lose bad. If we lose one of these games, I'm going to jump right in. I'm going to make a move. I got to make a move. I know that the call-up of Christopher Breen is just not going to do it. There's a loss to Carolina, and there's a loss that amongst those moves is going to be putting Butler back into the lineup. I know I got to scratch Breen. Hold on 1 second. Breen, scratch. We got Daniel Paille out here on the 4th line. I'm considering putting Prust out there. I'm thinking about dressing Prust. This 3rd line is killing me, man. Minus players all around. Backlund is poor for an 85 overall. Just having a not-so-great season. 3rd line, and just a negative line. Bergenheim, Stauberg 4th line. Try that out instead. Wideman top pair is now a -7. He's got 25. He's got those points, though. But, we're giving up the goals. I'm going to try to trade Wideman. We're going to make a hockey trade. I'm going to do it. There, they can retain $1 million. I've got a trade proposal that's a wild one. Oh, shoot, I put Summers in there. That's the wrong player. You know what? We could try Summers for Pronger. They would get younger, and we would get an aging Chris Pronger. You know what? This was not what I was going to do, but you know what? We're going to try to make this. They want Summers. First of all, Philadelphia wants Summers. They want to give away Pronger. I'm going to have them retain some salary. There's 2 years left on Pronger's deal, but we can always buy that out if he doesn't retire after this season. Where do we see the trade value? I think that this would be approved by Philadelphia. We're going to get them to retain some salary, so we have enough salary cap. I might get them to retain a little bit more. Try $1.2 million Please, Philly, do you want to do this deal? Chris Summers for Chris Pronger. Straight up 1-for-1 hockey trade. They like it, but they're not loving that they have to, you know, retain salary. So I may send them something their way to sweeten that pot a little bit. How about Summers and a fourth for retaining the salary? What about Summers and a fourth for 1.1 million retained? We knock a little bit off the retention. Still not enough. $1 million retained. Fourth and a seventh, 1 million retained. Take it or leave it, Philly. The only way it would be approved is if Philly retains at least the $1 million. And I may have to give up a third and a fourth here. A third and a fourth for an aging Pronger is crazy. How about a fourth and then next year's... Yeah, a fourth and next year's third. A fourth and next year's third for Pronger. A fourth and next year's second. I'm really trying to make this go through. They don't love having to retain it, but they have agreed to our trade offer. We got an aging Chris Pronger, but that's just to help us out from the run from here to the end of the season. That means I'm going to have to send a player down on waivers, aren't I? We called Breen up, but we're going to send him right down. He's on a two-way deal, but he will go through waivers, and if he gets caught... Wait, Team of the League, do you still want to... Yes. I do want to send him down. If he gets claimed, it'll be what it'll be. He was claimed. Oh, man, somebody claimed Breen. I got to figure out who claimed Breen, but I figured that might happen. Don't really care. We got Chris Pronger. I should have got... I got Philly to retain salary, but we are still not salary cap compliant. Doesn't mean we need to send Prust down. We'll send Prust down. And Prust was claimed. Gosh dang it. Does that make us cap compliant though? Who claimed Prust? Oh, Nashville, you dickheads. Nashville are complete dickheads. They claimed both players off of waivers. You know, where are you, Nashville? Where are you guys in the standings? I hope you guys missed the playoffs. Yeah, dead last. I mean, that's why they claimed and they had the first bid at waiver claim. Well, I didn't have a choice but to send those guys down because I had to send them down because of just hold on a second. Let me figure things out in my brain how I need to set this up. But we did not have the cap space. We had to send those guys on waivers. We didn't have a choice. So now we're cap compliant, and we have Chris Pronger, who is, if you want to take a look at Chris Pronger, well, that's what he looks like right now. At 41 years of age, man, dude can still play. And I'm hoping Philly is having a bad year. I didn't pay attention to where they are in the standings. But you know what? This could very well help the penalty kill. There he is. He's four-man power play. There's a penalty kill. And I think you got to take Weidman off that penalty kill. And there's Pronger. Give it to Prongs. He's going to play on the penalty kill. I understand why that shootout lineup is not good enough to win games. Thank you. I've got good GM rep with 4 teams, and I made a 2-for-2 trade. Yes, stop the sim. We want to take a look. All right, All-Stars, West All-Stars. That would be blue. I'll take a look at both All-Star teams just for the sake of the video. Do we have anyone representing ourselves? Well, we should have a player representing ourselves in the All-Star game. It's Kane, Hopkins, and Parise as the first line. Sedin, Thornton, and Sharp. Wheeler, Getzlaff, and there it is, Ryan Callahan. Not a surprise that he would be the All-Star nomination. Bodker, Little, and Kumala? Oops, what did I click on? Never heard of that guy. 84 overall. Who is that guy? Weber and Spurgeon first pair. Voinov, Bogosian second pair. We don't have a defenseman in here. We don't have a good enough defenseman this season. Goalies are Halak and Varlamov. So not Mike Smith. That's a shocker. In the East is Ovechkin, Stamkos, and Kovalchuk. That is a line. Wow. Drew and Backstrom, Kessel, Zetterberg, Sagan, Molson, Hartnell, and Derek Roy, and Placanitz. Then the pairings would be Carlson, Letang. I like that. That's actually, they're both teammates now in Pittsburgh. If you go this far back, once upon a time, they were the top defensemen among the NHL. Kulikov and Teuton. Is that not a... Who does Kulikov play for? I know Teuton is a Columbus Blue Jacket. I want to say Kulikov is a Blue Jacket as well in this game, but I have no idea. Sakara and Moore form the third pairing. The goalies are Holtby and Lindback. All right, first games with Chris Pronger. We traded for Chris Pronger. We freed Philadelphia's hands of Chris Pronger, and they got a younger defenseman in Chris Summers, who was our free agent signing, just had to do what we had to do. They wanted to get younger, I guess. Oh, I need to check and see. Where is Philly in the Metro Division after we sim past the Columbus game? So I figured I'd take a chance on an aging Pronger just toward the end of the season. I know he's got a 2-year deal, so if he doesn't retire, I know that contract will be our problem, but we can just buy that contract out if we have to. It'll be 1 year, and we beat Columbus. So, where are the Flyers? Yep, the Flyers are definitely one of the worst teams, so that would make sense that they'd probably try to offload it, get a younger player. So that just makes a lot of sense. For Philadelphia, it kind of makes sense for us. We're just trying to bolster our defense pairings to get toward the playoffs now that we're in late January, and hope it pays off for us. Cullen Eddy has been sent down on waivers. Well, I will be nice and not claim the 73 overall defenseman because I'm also not Nashville. Nashville will claim all of your best players on waivers. We lost to Detroit, by the way, in regulation. Florida, is that going to be a victory? Going to be really concerned if we can't string together wins. We lost the Panthers in regulation because we still have that 7 in the overtime shootout category. So we're not giving up nearly as many goals now. That's a good sign with Pronger in the lineup, but if we can't start winning games, more line changes will be necessary. No point scouting goaltenders because we're just playing 5 seasons, and at this point you won't see a goaltender. You won't see a goaltender develop for what remains of this GM mode. Update the scouting assignment. We won't see a goaltender in the GM mode by the time we get to season 5 if we drafted one now. The only goaltender you would see develop is the one that's in the net right now for us, and that is Peter Mrazek. Do we even have the cap space to claim that? No, it's 77 overall as well. I'm not interested. Need a win, guys. We need to beat Boston, and it is. It's a 3-0 victory there from Mrazek, I'm guessing. Yeah, Mrazek, he has 21 wins now. We're in February, I believe. We are now in the first week of February, so it needs to get rolling now or never. It's now or never for this team. 3-2 win over Buffalo. We're coming into back-to-back games. New Jersey at home. Buffalo on the road. I know that our home record has not been great this season. I don't even know if we won that game because I wasn't looking at the screen when it simmed past the New Jersey game. And the Islanders, that's definitely a loss, and that's back-to-back losses. Just not getting it going in the right direction. Are we still in the hunt? It's close. It's really close. I'm thinking of moving Pronger to the first pair and just see how that works. I think I had Pronger's stats pulled up before we started simming games with Pronger on our team. So by the end of the season or by the deadline, I can pull up his stats and see what changed for him compared to when we traded for Pronger. And I'm hoping that he's a plus player. That's a 3-1 loss to Edmonton. We just can't afford to do this to ourselves. I don't think this is a Calgary team that's going to make the playoffs. I have lost all optimism. Unless there is a huge, and I mean 8-9 game winning streak in front of us, I think it's over for this team. We're 23, 24, and 7 to this point in the year. We're in February now. We're getting ever closer to the trade deadline day, and this team has not got it done. A win over Dallas. We will play Dallas shortly thereafter in the coming days here after we play Winnipeg. I wish you could see what your record is against teams with a winning record. So this is Winnipeg, who technically has a winning record, and we lost in regulation. Then we beat Dallas again. So we do, I think we fare very well. What is Dallas's record? I didn't even pay attention to their record. They are 28, 22, and 6. So we seem to have Dallas's number. And are we just hanging around in the division? Just barely, but we've been jumped by Vancouver. Again, don't think it's happening this season. I think we will miss the playoffs. I could toy with the line. I may toy with the forward lines one more time just to see if we can find a way to get some magic going in our direction, because now we're starting to stop the puck, but we're not scoring the goals now. That's a 1-0 win over Florida. I'm not concerned yet. Let's not get too concerned yet. I know we're getting very close to the deadline day. So any line changes that would be made, I'd like to make them now. But if they're necessary, very good Columbus team. And, yep, figured that would be a loss. One more. We'll sim past Washington. See if we can give Washington Washington our best shot, but I think some line changes are going to be made just to round out the season, see if we can push it. Berchi has not scored. He's our leading scorer. 22 goals is our best goal scorer. I'm going to split it up. I really am. I'm moving Berchi down and Hoodler up. Is Fisher a minus? I'm going to make some really drastic changes before we make this push. +6 for Fisher, that's not a problem. -7 for Nystrom, that's a problem. Moving him down. Pulling out second line. Paille still in there. Actually, Nystrom fourth line, Stahlberg third line. Stahlberg, is he a big negative player? -10, that's not great, but anyway. Bergenheim, I'm assuming is a minus. -1, no, barely. Bergenheim will help that line defensively. Oh, what to do. I cannot. I'm going to try Callahan on the left. No, Callahan on the right. Whoops, that swapped all wrong. Is Callahan a right wing? He's listed as a right wing. I guess he likes that. What's Callahan done offensively this season? 40 points and 61. Need a little bit more. This first line needs to be a little more prolific than that. Camilleri is likewise 48 points in 61 games. Hoodler, has he fallen off? A little bit. I mean, his goal scoring pace has fallen off a touch and his point scoring pace, but we're going to try him on the first line. And then that power play, I'm going to really stack up this first power play unit. I'm going to put, oh boy, I don't even know what to do here. So what we'll do is Backlund, you're going to swap with Hoodler, and then Hoodler is going to swap with Girardi, and we will load up that first unit. Okay, time to observe where we're at. So, goals for, we've gotten worse. We've tailed off a little bit on goal scoring, now at 2.64 goals for per game. And I know I said I would take this to the trade deadline. I think I'm just going to sim out the whole season in this one episode. Goals against, I think that's gotten a little bit better, but not by much. I think it's improved just a tiny bit. Power play is still hanging around 17%. Penalty kill gotten better, or it's gotten better. Penalty kill's gotten better. That's good. It's back up to 84. Power play is missing it. That's why we put, what's his name, Hoodler up there on the first unit. I need something out of this team on a run to the playoffs. If we're gonna make the playoffs, I need a run now. We just changed the lines around a little bit. I need this team to get hot. I don't know that we will see a 100-point scorer in the NHL. Ovechkin, he might hit 50 goals. With quite a bit of season still left in that 42 already. And this is the standings, the East, and then this is where we are at. We can still make a run at this, but we have got to get hot, guys. Calgary, we have got to ignite the flame right now, the flame in all of us. We're going to take the sim all the way to the end of the season. I have changed my mind. The deadline is right there. I've made my trade. I want to carry this team into the offseason, and hopefully there are playoff games to be played. That's a regulation loss to Montreal, unfortunately. It's going to take a miracle. This team has got to get hot. It's going to take something for this team to get hot. There's a win over Ottawa going to the deadline. We will play Tampa Bay in the last game before the deadline. See if maybe there's a playoff push. I don't even care about the deadline. I'm not involved. We lost to a 40-win Tampa Bay team, which is not shocking. Continue. We might as well just offload players. We might as well sell at this point. We're not making it. We got Pronger playing on the top pair. I'm going back to Girardi. Pronger, you can play with Yemelin. I'm going back to Girardi on the top pair. I don't know what to say about this team. I really don't know what to do. I think I've tried to move players around, and I don't know that there's any other changes other than maybe we put Backlund on the fourth line. Oh, we just keep losing, and we're now in the post-trade deadline portion of the sim, and even moving back onto the fourth line, that was not the answer. This team doesn't have it. This is just a year, I guess, for Mrazek to get more valuable experience. I was hoping the playoffs would be enough experience for him to see a massive spike in growth, and that could carry us into a run here this season. I just think that unless there's a miracle, it's over for this team. It's over for this squad. Now we're in March. We would need a hell of a March to get into the playoffs. The month of March would have to be amazing for this team. There's 3 wins in a row, so hold on a second. Now you guys want to win 3 in a row. We got a long way to go to still catch San Jose. We'll take it one game at a time, because we're going to be playing the Colorado Avalanche. Sven Baertschi's gotten on a goal-scoring tear now that he's back on the second line. We should have just been playing Sven Baertschi on the second line the whole season. Is that what you're going to start telling me now? Lost to the Avalanche. And that loss to the Avalanche was in regulation, so we're just not getting points as well when we're losing these tough games. But it's one loss. Just pick up another win streak is what we'd have to do. We would have to pick up another big win streak. We do not lose in regulation to Chicago. 1-goal loss, 1-goal win over the Blues. We've had their number. Nashville, who stole our players off waivers, really pissed me off with that one. I just want to beat Nashville now. They're going to get the lottery winner. They're going to win. And they beat us. Yep, season's done. It's stick a fork in it. Season's done. Might as well sim to the end of the year. Vancouver was a win. A 3-2 win. San Jose was an extra time loss, so we got a point in that game. And then we lost to the Avalanche. Another 1-goal loss. This team is so cooked. The trade for Pronger was not a genius move, was it? Don't think it really matters. I'm actually thinking well, you know, it's just so late now in the season that it's definitely over. We're cooked. I was going to think about putting Pronger on the third pair just to space out the skill. But this team is so not making it. No, oh God. We're so far out. Oh, wait a minute. I forgot about the wild card too, but the wild card is... Wait a minute. The wild card race. Are we still in... We're still in the hunt for the wild card race. Whatever. Let's just... How many games are left? Yeah, we just sim this out. We finish out in California. Just sim this out. Just got a 500 hockey club. That's all we are. 500 hockey team. We would need to win out, basically, at this point. Yeah. Oh, my God. The losing. Just the 1-goal losses have been unbelievable this season. Well, that's going to do it. We are definitely not going to make the playoffs. The disappointment in Season 3. We only have 2 seasons now left to win the Stanley Cup. We're not making the playoffs now. It is definitely a confirmation for me. Oh, my God, the losing. The losing. Well, I don't know. Maybe we get granted a chance at it in the lottery. That's the only thing that we can hope for now. The only thing we can win is the draft lottery. It would be sweet justice for us to win the draft lottery over Nashville, which I don't think is going to happen. We just end the season on a terrible losing streak, and that's it. So, who made it? Who made it into the playoffs? Ovechkin had a 100-point season. That's insane. So, Ovechkin, the only player with 100 points. He had a 57-goal, 100-point season. That's insane. What a year for Ovechkin and the Capitals. And the goaltenders... It looks like Allen played quite a bit of games. Best save percentage in the league. Niemi was a beast. Smith, Ward, the same. Just the usual suspects performing well as the best goaltenders in the league. For some reason, Cam Ward is a beast. We need to pry that guy out of Carolina. One of these goaltenders, anyway, would be nice to get. And your Calgary Flames will start with goaltending because Mrazek played 80 games. And he finished with almost a 91.5 basically save percentage, 5 shutouts. Not really necessarily so much the problem, but we ran him into the ground. Definitely ran him into the ground there. Sure, we'll look at defensemen first. How did we got to pull up Pronger here? There's Pronger's stats. He finished as a -21, so that's a problem. He was a negative player as an aging defenseman, but I figured we would give it our best shot. Scoring-wise, Giordano, 44 points. So there's your defenseman scoring. Forwards, Camilleri leading the team, not even close to point per game. And just there's all the offensive stats for the team. If you want to see that, I'll also show plus-minus, but I don't really have a whole lot of a comment to make about this team. Just very disappointing overall. The team finishes in points as the 29th. Wait a minute. Are you telling me that we could... Oh my God, we actually finished as one of the worst teams. We could win the draft lottery. Holy crap, we really could. Okay, well, there's at least a silver lining to this season as we finish with one of the worst goal-scoring teams in the NHL. We finished as a very mediocre team in terms of keeping the puck out of the back of the net. Our power play got better as the season went on. It clicked up to 18%, 9th best in the NHL. And the penalty kill was relatively decent by the end of the season as well. There's our record at home and our record on the road. It was a losing record at home. We just did not play well in front of the fans in the Saddle Dome this year. So we just did not have... There was no such thing as home ice advantage for the Flames this year. And to wrap it all up, there's the playoff tree. LA and San Jose will go at each other's throats in round 1. Phoenix, Edmonton, Chicago, Colorado, Minnesota, and Dallas, the defending Stanley Cup champion Anaheim Ducks missed the playoffs as well. Carolina, Washington, Pittsburgh, Columbus, Florida, Toronto, and the Tampa Bay Lightning play the New York Rangers, all in round number 1. So there's your first round matchups going into the playoffs. Oh, and because I like to try to see progress reports and see the attributes modified, I don't know if there's really a whole lot of anything. Oh, someone got better. Giordano got better. His defensive awareness went up by 1. That's what it was. Girardi getting worse. Statistical growth. Yeah, all of his was negative statistical, so it's just that he didn't have a good season statistically. I'm guessing stick checking really went down. Girardi is starting to look like a not so great signing. Fisher getting older, took a chance on an aging Fisher. He's getting worse. So it was a 1-year deal, definitely not bringing that guy back. Pronger dropped off, obviously. He didn't drop off that much, though. Look at that. As a 41-year-old, but not planning on bringing Pronger back. Even if he doesn't retire, we will just buy that contract out. Stahlberg gets worse. Oh, Stahlberg. He was already seeing negative statistical growth last season as well. Weidman got better. So, yeah, Weidman was not a guy to trade. You can see the statistical improvements. Bergenheim on a 1-year deal had a lot of negative statistical growth. Probably not bringing back Bergenheim. Baertschi got better. All right, well, at least Baertschi got better. Playing on the first line, that probably helped him out. He might be able to bump to an 86, 87 over the course of the offseason. Hudobin got better. Hudobin just keeps getting better by sitting on the bench and just playing, 9 games. And then Mrazek, he got a little bit of improvement. Just his 5-hole got better this season. Well, they gave me a contract extension. Thank God, because we're supposed to be doing this for 5 years. Yep, we're going to re-sign with Calgary, obviously. We're committed to doing this with the Flames. Well, the New York Rangers are Stanley Cup champions. So there you go, Season 3. New York Rangers take the Stanley Cup. The salary cap went up $2.3 million. Retirees, I believe, retired players by games played. Pronger did retire. That's good news for us. Shane Doan retires. Radek Dvorak, a Stanley Cup champion in retirement. Jokinen, Morris, Gomez, Brewer, Datsuk finally did retire. Vishnowsky, Eric Cole. Oh, he went to the Rangers. And I'm just going to scroll through this. If you want to pause and take a look at any particular player that is of note, Nashville's Prust that they pulled off of waivers, he retired. He didn't play a single game with us, even though we signed him to a contract. He never played a single game for the Calgary Flames before he was claimed off waivers. Also, I will not forget to look at goaltenders. By games played, it looks like Nabokov is the only notable retirement there. Then Jaguar is a free agent. Nabokov leaves the Islanders at the end of the season in retirement. So how did the playoffs shake out? It was Dallas versus the Rangers, who took it in 5 games. In the Stanley Cup Final, the East Tree, the Stanley Cup Final, the route to the Stanley Cup for the Rangers went Tampa Bay. They won in 7. The Panthers, they won in 6. They sweep the Hurricanes, who once again got back to the conference final. And then in the West, it was Dallas running through Minnesota. Then in 6 games, they went through Colorado. By the way, they didn't exactly run through Minnesota. They played them in 7 games. My brain's turning to mush right now. And then they swept. So we had a conference final sweep in both sides. Dallas sweeps Phoenix in the conference final to then lose to the Rangers in 5. So that's the story of the playoffs. The best player of the playoffs was probably Derek Stepan. Could be potentially your Conn Smythe winner, Rick Nash. Erickson having a good playoff, so there's your playoff stats. Crawford, how many games played? 7 games. So I'm looking for Lundqvist, could be a Conn Smythe winner as well. What is his save percentage? Very, very good. Lundqvist could be the Conn Smythe winner as well. Who was he opposed by in the final? Oh, by the way, Eric Cole got traded, I guess, to the Rangers or signed. It would be Lehtonen for the Dallas Stars. Eric Cole was on that Rangers team playing his former team, the Dallas Stars, in the Stanley Cup Final. So how about that storyline? So that'll do it for this episode. We will pick up at the draft, which is right there on the 23rd. We will begin, I believe, we will be in contention for that lottery draft